Hi. I want to give you an update on the scheme for registration today. I realise there is a lot of uncertainty and anxiety out there, and that's completely understandable. This is a really difficult time for all trainees and for optometrists generally. From our point of view at the college, me and my team are working really hard and every day to work out how we can allow trainees to continue to progress in their training. However, taking an observation-based face-to-face assessment and doing it during a lockdown or under social distancing methods is extremely challenging. We have to ensure that any changes are safe and fair and have been thoroughly thought through. And where the requirements relate to GOC standards, we have to gain approval from the GOC. So since my last update, we have developed our initial plans and put our proposed changes to the GOC. And we are currently in discussions with them about whether or not they meet their standards and any further modifications they think we need to make. In the meantime, and I know this is tough, I would please ask you to be patient and be assured that we are working really hard on this. It will take time, given the complexity and the scale of the scheme. As you know, our number one priority, and that's shared by the GOC, is patient safety. Newly qualified optometrists can see patients unsupervised. The GOC and us, we therefore have to be certain that those who go on the GOC register are fully competent and have the required levels of experience to be safe practitioners. As well as talking to the GOC, we've also been talking to universities and employers and working with them to ensure that everyone from final year students right the way through to someone waiting for their OSCE, from supervisors to those that run practices, feels supported. Now, understandably, we've had queries about the specific changes we're proposing to the scheme, and so today I want to share some more details on those. However, it's important to understand that these are just proposed changes for now. We will need GOC approval for some of them, and we will need support to work with employers on others. Any plans are obviously also dependent on when and how lockdown is lifted and how social distancing is relaxed. So if you're in stage 1, we're looking at how we can assess as many of your outstanding competencies as possible remotely. We're currently working up plans so that we can do this, bearing in mind that if you are furloughed, you can't access patient records or do any work for your employer. These remote assessments may be different from the stage 1 assessments you will be used to, but they will have the same focus on signing off competencies by using, for example, case records or scenarios rather than a patient record or a direct observation. If you're in or waiting for stage 2, again, we're working on plans to assess the overarching section remotely. Unfortunately, there isn't any way that we can assess you performing a routine eye examination or a contact lens fit and aftercare without directly observing you to do so. So for these, we're putting together plans to allow those assessments to go ahead as quickly as possible once the government reduces restrictions, and this can safely happen. Finally, the OSCE will remain to ensure that everyone that passes the scheme, whether pre, post or during COVID, goes through the same final assessment at the same standard. Just on the OSCE, we've had to make the decision this week to cancel the July OSCE, so those who are eligible to sit that have some clarity. Social distancing unfortunately means it's just not possible to run the exam right now, and it's not fair for trainees who've been out of practice and have had no patient experience for maybe a number of months to sit a practical exam. We've already made more places available at the September OSCE, and if needed, we will arrange a further OSCE sitting before the end of this year. To underpin all of our work on the above and to make sure that we get it right, we're currently collecting and analysing each trainee's progress on the scheme up to the 18th of March. We're also looking carefully at when trainees enrolled on the scheme. So this will help us to fairly extend everyone's time if they've been affected by COVID-19. And this will include taking account of the cancellation of the July OSCE for trainees near to the end of their time on the scheme. I hope this has been useful. We will continue to keep you up to date. We know how uncertain this time is for everyone and that it can feel really frustrating that things can't move faster. Please trust us that we are working hard on your behalf and that the taking time is to ensure that what we put in place for you is fair and safe for patients. Thank you.